What's up, everybody? My name is Hutch. Welcome to Podcast and Chill. With me, as always, my co-hosts, Active Bunny Fufu or Geo.
Going on?
And then we have Eric or Faucius.
What up?
Any of those names will do. You can call me Sean if you want to. It's been a couple weeks since we talked, gentlemen. We had some sickness.
It has.
We had some diarrhea.
You guys have the worst immune systems ever.
I really do. It's awful.
I'm not a proud man, but I want to admit something, and that is, I rolled the dice last night, and I paid the price. I sharded for the first time in my adult life.
Oh no!
Yeah,
That's always a sobering experience.
Anyways,
I've never done that, and I've counted myself as lucky so far in my life.
Well, you're a young man.
I know.
Active Bunny Fufu.
Give it time.
There's a lot of time left for that to
Count
happen.
your blessings, sir. As much as I want to talk about bowel movements, we've been gone for 2 weeks, and a lot of shit has gone down. One of which was the Oscars, and then I just have like a metric fuck ton of news. So I think we need to just like get into this as quick as you can.
Also, Deadpool. We didn't get to talk about Deadpool either.
Did we not talk about that last time?
Did we not?
I don't think we've done an episode. We did an episode the week Deadpool came out, but we never did an episode after it came out.
I don't think that's true.
I feel like
There's
that's
no way, because that movie
true.
came out before Valentine's Day.
I don't think we talked about Deadpool. I don't think we did an episode after Deadpool came out.
I feel like we can talk about that, but I feel it's like it's pretty universal at this point. Everybody loves them. Well, everybody really likes them, unless there's a dissenting opinion here.
No, I feel like the general consensus, and correct me if I'm wrong, movie was great, opened up the door for more movie of its kind.
You can tell that they had to trim the fat because of budget cuts. Like there was apparently supposed to be 4 different action set pieces in the film, like big action set pieces, and then there was only 2 by the end of all the budget cuts. So I don't know. The movie was awesome. I feel like
deleted scenes on the DVD on the Blu-ray.
I know you want to talk about this. I feel like we need to move on because I'm looking at all these tabs, and there's a bunch of this. So the first segment that we do is what have we been watching, and let's kick it out with you, Faucius.
Oh, why?
Let's kick it off with you, Bunny.
I watched Dope. I went to the movie theaters to go see The Witch, which was super fucking weird.
My girlfriend said that movie wasn't that great.
I don't know. Like, I need to go see it again because I don't understand it. Like, it felt like an artistic try at a scary movie is what it felt like. Like, it was weird. It was just very peculiar and super weird.
I hear a lot of people like it. They're like touting it as like the next It Follows is what maybe I'm making that up, but I thought that
I don't know. I want you guys to go see it because it was just so weird to me. Like, I need to go see it again. It was also it was really hard to understand 100% of the dialogue because they stayed very true and try to the dialect of that time,
which is
the like pilgrims, basically.
Did you ever watch Deadwood?
No.
Ooh,
Okay.
Deadwood.
Yeah, they talk like really old-fashioned speak in that show too, and it took a couple episodes before I could finally like speak that language. But
It's good.
It was basically like that. Yeah, it was very very old English, and a lot of times it was really hard to actually follow the dialogue.
Dope was really good though, right?
Dope was fantastic.
Yeah.
That was an astounding movie.
Eric, have you seen that?
I haven't yet. I keep like passing over it, and I'm like, I should watch that.
I think it's on Netflix now. So
yeah,
it's on Netflix. That's
every
where
time I go
it.
on Netflix, I'm like, I don't know, I should watch it at some
You
point.
should.
It's
good.
a really good movie. I like it.
I just haven't gotten a chance to yet. I need to.
Yeah.
And it has like 3 acts, and they're completely different from each other, which I really thought was really cool about Dope.
Yeah.
Is that they were
Nice.
just completely 3 different acts that were seamlessly combined, and it was really nice.
Yeah.
I also went on a big binge of animated DC movies as well. I haven't been able to watch a shit ton of movies because I've been so busy with all of the game releases and things that are happening.
Did you watch The Dark Knight Returns?
The animated movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I watched that. They also added Son of Batman, Flashpoint, and Justice League War to Netflix like 3 days ago. So I watched all 3 of those, even though I own 2 of them. But yeah, animated DC movies are fucking phenomenal. And if you haven't seen them, anyone who's watching, you need to because they're so good.
I used to love the animated Batman, the animated series growing up.
That series was stellar. That
Yeah.
and Batman Beyond. That was some of the best cartooned hero stuff.
X-Men, man. You gotta go
Man.
X-Men.
Batman
Uh,
Beyond was really good though.
Yeah.
That's another show that I missed. All right, did you watch anything else? It's been a long
Can't really-
time.
I can't think of anything right now, but
I decided
Probably
to
come
write mine down this week because I realize every week that I always forget. And so,
yeah, I usually do that, and this
Yeah.
I didn't.
because I watch a lot of shit. I know you guys do too, so it's easy to forget what
Yeah.
you've watched. Eric, what have you watched since the last time we spoke?
So I have been sick. So in between passing out, coughing my lungs out, trying to do work from bed unsuccessfully, I've had a lot of time to watch movies. So I kind of just watched what was either like on my mind at the time or something like reminding me like, I kind of want to watch that movie again. So the first one, because of all the political bullshit that's happening, was Idiocracy.
Nice.
Still one of my favorite movies, and it's rapidly becoming real life, which is really scary.
There was an
So I
article
was
about
like,
that
I should-
recently. Actually, the one of the creators of that movie came out and said, "I'm completely dumbfounded, but we
Yep.
really did predict like what happened."
Yeah. He was just like, I didn't realize my movie was going to become a documentary.
It's pretty nuts. Yeah.
It's really scary. But yeah, the movie's always great. Anytime you watch it, so good.
Yeah.
Because our boy Leo finally got his day in the sun. Rewatched The Departed, just because it's still my favorite movie he's been in. Super fucking great. If you haven't seen it, what's wrong with you? I also rewatched a really kind of like, I think this was in like mid 90s, I think, maybe, or late 90s. Ravenous.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that, but I've never
Guy
seen it.
Pearce.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
I fucking love it. It's one of those movies where you either love it or you really hate it. Like there's no in between.
Do you know who
Essentially,
directed it?
Who the
Says
hell?
Antonia
Antonia
Bird.
Bird.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Doesn't
it's,
ring a bell.
Essentially, it like takes place during either like, or I think like after the Civil War or like right around the time. Oh, it came out in '99. Essentially, it's about cannibalism in like the Sierra Nevada mountains, and it's fucking awesome.
Okay.
And it's got like a really like weird soundtrack that like in my opinion, it adds to like the whole like completely messed up atmosphere of the whole movie.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. To me, it's an awesome movie. It's just like one of those campy, awesome cannibal movies.
I really enjoy movies where the soundtrack becomes like a really core part of the movie. Like I think of Mad Max and a lot of Sam Mendes movies, like American Beauty and Road to Perdition, where the soundtrack it's almost like this like 2-hour long music video, I really do dig that. Like Drive is another example of that. Like the music is so
Drive
important to that
perfect
movie too.
example of that. That whole soundtrack was phenomenal.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
And then lastly, just because I have a ritual whenever I'm sick, you know how when you were a kid it was like, oh, I'm just gonna watch The Price is Right because it's always on. I haven't had cable in years, so I haven't been able to do that. So my tradition has become, anytime that I'm really sick, like too sick that I like can't go to work or like leave my house or something, I always put on John Carpenter's Vampires.
Really?
Every time. And it's just like
Thing?
become my James Woods ritual. And it's the best John Carpenter's movie out of like all the crappy ones. I think Ghosts of Mars is like a close second. But it's just like
I
you
haven't
have
seen
to
Ghosts of
turn your
Mars.
brain off and just enjoy it.
What's the name of this movie again
Jesus.
you're talking about? I already forgot.
John
Vampires.
Carpenter's Vampires.
John Carpenter's. Oh, it's
Yeah.
just vampires. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't seen Ghosts. I didn't even know that one even existed, but I've seen
Oh.
Vampires a few times.
If
Because-
you haven't seen Ghosts of Mars, you're welcome. Ice Cube is in it.
Oh yeah.
Is he?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. That was
Oh.
yeah, I remember
It's
seeing trailers
amazing.
for that.
It's amazing. And the bad guys, I'm not going to spoil anything about the movie, but the bad guys have probably the funniest voices of any movie to ever come out in the history of man.
See, you guys have both mentioned something in like the horror genre, and I got to tell you, that's like my Achilles heel when it comes to cinemas. I cannot. I mean, it really takes a special kind of horror film to capture my
Really?
attention because I get so bored so quick in that genre. I don't know
Yeah,
what
I
it is about
love
that
that
genre.
shit.
I get it, and I see it all around me, especially in like gaming culture. It's I think it's a part of that, and but
Yeah.
I can't. I just cannot. I mean, and it sucks because Esme loves horror films, but I never ever want to watch them. There's always exceptions to the rule. Like I would call, even though Shaun of the Dead is a comedy, it still kind of like bends the genre a little bit and mixes it. And
Yeah.
But
movies
that's
like-
kind of what I brought up, though. Like those movies, I equate to your feeling there. Like I'm not gonna fake the funk like I'm a super horror fan. Like Ravenous, I don't even see it as a horror movie. Like it's got horror elements, but it's more of like a period almost comedy. But again, I think that's just because of my disposition that I see it that way.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I don't know if it's because I'm just prejudiced as far as genres go. I don't know if I need to like open myself up a little. Maybe watch like a few particular pieces that people need to suggest so that I can get a better taste of that genre. But I mean, It Follows didn't really do it for me that much. I mean, people were going nuts about it, and I respected the art of that film, but I did not engage with it as much as I saw everyone
To be
else.
fair,
doing it.
I really like The Ring out of like a straight up horror movie.
Yeah.
I know it's an
Like
unpopular
the
opinion.
American?
Yes.
Ew.
I actually really liked it because
Is that the
it
one with
wasn't just
Naomi
like,
Watts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
okay.
just
Yeah.
wasn't like jump scare, fuck you, jump scare. Like it actually, when I saw it at the time, it instilled like a feeling of dread and terror.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like, okay, that was a good horror movie.
You know,
Have
it's
you
my
ever seen the original, like Ringu?
I have. I just,
Yeah?
I like the cinematography of the American one better. And I know it's
I
an
would
unpopular
agree.
opinion. It just,
I
it
would
hit me
agree
the
with
right
that,
way.
even though I do like Ringu better than the American version. I will say cinematography-wise, the Americanized version was way better. I guess
Yeah,
because they had a
that's-
bigher budget.
Oh,
that was
yeah,
also,
definitely.
They had a much
Wasn't it-
bigger budget.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, wasn't like Ringu like it wasn't an
It was almost like an
independent film.
IFS, like IFC film, basically. It was almost
Yeah,
like an
yeah.
independent film. It might as well been.
Yeah, it was like super low budget, but I mean,
Yeah.
the cinematography like added to the terror for me, and like the way that they did color saturation on certain scenes, it fucked me up, man, for like a while.
All right, well, let's this segment's gone on for 20 minutes. I'll talk a little bit about what I watched, and then we'll get to the news, and then talk a little bit about the Oscar winners. But okay, so one of the movies I watched was Grandma with Lily Tomlin. She got a Golden Globe, or she got nominated for a Golden Globe for it. It was a story of a grandma taking her granddaughter out and trying to find a way to get her an abortion. And it's like, yeah, it's like it all takes place, I think, in one day. It took, I mean, I watched it a couple weeks ago, and I think I was a little tipsy when I watched it, but really good performances, a lot of good humor there too, and then it was like heartwarming at the same time. I know it sounds weird, but
I was like,
just watch a trailer. I'm not doing it any justice, but her granddaughter needs to get an abortion, so she picks her granddaughter up. She takes her over to like her mom's house, and then her ex-boyfriend's, or the one that is like the baby daddy, and then like she's just trying to get this little girl she's like 18 or 19. She's trying to get this girl what she needs.
I'm about to say that got grim real quick.
I'm not trying to be funny with it, but I mean, it is kind of a comedy too. There's plenty of, it's a serious topic, but they also inject a lot of humor, and it's really intelligent writing, and I liked it. Anyways, I rewatched the entire Daredevil season 1. And
that's another thing I watched as well. Yeah.
You've never seen that?
I know, I rewatched it.
Oh,
I rewatched it
okay,
as well.
okay,
I actually
all right.
rewatched that and Jessica Jones past week.
I think Daredevil's better.
I agree.
I think
agree.
Daredevil's
But
better.
I still do, and I will say that I do not like how either of those seasons ended. I do not like the finales of those series.
What? Wait,
I'm so
oh,
excited for season 2 of Daredevil. Ugh.
I know.
There's a little bit of
Yeah, there.
news about that later. We'll talk about that in a minute here. I'm also rewatching Narcos season 1 right now. And it's just as good the second time. If you guys never seen that show, it's really special, like a really
Narcos
special
is
show.
so good. Oh, so good.
I watched This Is the End. I watched that again last night. The comedy with Seth Rogen, and it's so funny. That I think is my favorite Seth Rogen film.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. It just the fact that they have a scene where Emma Watson comes back to the house, and then they all debate raping her. And if I say that to you right now, that sounds like, how the fuck did they get away with it? But you're laughing the whole time. And she's totally in on the joke too. So like, there's just, the laughs in that movie, I think, is unrivaled to any other Seth Rogen film. So good. I just watched Trumbo for the first time. Did you guys see this movie?
Yeah, that's a really good movie.
I heard it's really good. I've heard a lot about it. I
I
haven't seen it yet, though.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for period pieces in this movie. I mean, Bryan Cranston is obviously an amazing actor, and the subject material is really interesting, especially if you're a history buff. Like, I love U.S. history, and when you go back to McCarthyism and the Hollywood, the blacklisted, the Hollywood 10. It's a really fascinating time in our history. And then I'm also still watching The People versus O.J. Simpson, which is still awesome. So if you guys haven't gotten into that show, then it's streaming on Amazon. I actually just recently got cable for the first time in my adult life this last week because I want to be able to watch these shows like live as they're happening.
The reason why you don't get like an online pass instead of just like having cable?
Because like I don't want to have to sign up for like each individual network's
Right,
online pass to like, and then a lot of the times they don't go up for you can't watch them until the next day, and it's just a pain in the ass. So
fair. I'm not like taking a stab like, you idiot, why'd you get cable? Like,
Cable came with my internet package, and the first thing I did is I shoved the cable box in my closet.
I mean this is literally the first time I've ever bought cable in my adult life. I've always found streams and things like that and just bought it off Amazon or iTunes or whatever. Yeah. But yeah. Okay, you guys ready to get into this news? Because we gotta.
I watched Creed as well. There you go. That was. The
Oh,
last one I was
okay.
thinking
You
of.
saw that
Watched
for the
Creed
first.
Yes.
It's good, right?
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Those one shots in that movie were astounding.
They
They were so well done.
They were cleverly edited, so I'm sure they weren't technically actually one shots because it would go behind like their back a little bit and it would get dark.
Yeah, and it would go behind corners, but still, it was still really tastefully done.
Yeah,
Loved it.
the way that they shot the fights in those movies, I thought was really impressive. Way better than in any other Rocky movie we've seen.
Oh, for sure.
So here we go. Official runtime revealed for Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. If you want to watch DC's biggest heroes clash, you'll have to sit in a theater for a while, according to AMC Theaters listing. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice will have a running time of 2 hours and 31 minutes.
wow.
I would elaborate, but that pretty much is the
honestly
article.
makes me happy that it's gonna be long.
Yeah.
This way they'll have time to actually flush everything out.
And now there's I can't remember if I picked this as a story. It might pop up later, but now there's a rumored R-rated cut, which is like 3.5 hours long.
That was confirmed. I'm pretty sure that was confirmed.
I don't know if it's a rumor, if it's confirmed. I think you might be right.
The cut was supposed to be rated R and like 3 or 4 hours long or something.
All right,
like that.
so here's the question: do you guys both think that movies like that have that sort of runtime need a Quentin Tarantino-esque intermission?
Yeah. If I'm seeing it in a theater, I would prefer there would be an intermission.
Like the director's cut, like the 3-hour version.
Any movie that's longer than 3 hours.
Crazy
Oh well, yeah.
That's it's never going to happen because it's going to cut into their bottom line. But I would prefer that. I would prefer I can go up and pee and especially now because I can buy beer in a movie theater. It's
yeah.
Anyways.
I feel like that's like you have to have it for a movie like that. Like sitting for that long in a new movie it's almost too much.
It's asking a lot. It's definitely asking a lot. Jeph Loeb says there's no Punisher series in the works. Excuse me.
Boo.
This pissed me off.
Sucks.
In an interview with Digital Spy, Marvel Television executive vice president Jeph Loeb denied rumors that Netflix would produce a Daredevil spin-off featuring John Barenthal as the Punisher. Excuse me.
Balls.
He said, I think that's something that people are speculating on as opposed to something that's actually happening. It's certainly our hope that any of our characters will be embraced and that people will want to see more of them. I mean, this actor, like, he's already beloved in this crowd anyways. I feel like a lot of the people that watch Daredevil watch Walking Dead and like Sicario, he was just in that recently too. And he's been doing a good job of picking roles that people of things that people think are cool. And Daredevil's such a cool character too. And he didn't really get his day in the sun for the film adaptations, but the character I think is definitely worthy of a Netflix show. I'm pretty sure they're gonna make one, but
and I also think that he's gonna be the best on-screen Punisher we've ever had. So I think
I'll agree with that. Yeah. Like he's just a phenomenal actor, dude. Like he was the only reason I actually kind of liked Fury. I think Fury sucked.
Really? I liked
it.
I
really did. Fury is essentially like, all right, so this is the way I equate it, and you're probably gonna laugh when I say it, but it makes total sense. So in Inglorious Bastards, the Nazi propaganda film of the sniper that they show in the theater that they make,
Yeah.
Yeah,
where it's like fucking Germany, fuck yeah,
Germany
That's
is
what Fury
something
is,
or
but
whatever.
for Americans. Like it's
But
literally
it's
just
still
like
a
fuck
good-
yeah, we're the best.
It's still a good,
Thanks.
like, war movie. It's still a pretty decent
No, I
war
didn't.
movie.
I actually got the complete opposite impression because they had the one character that was kind of questioning everything. And I thought that he kind of served as he served to further this theme of like conflict within
and they were
ourselves
all kind
about the
of
war.
dicks as well, because they took over that lady's apartment, like just, and I don't.
But
Yeah,
that's
what-
the whole thing. Like my entire vibe for that movie was just like, we're America, fuck you, we're taking this, yeah, we're tanks.
I mean, I didn't think it was like a Saving Private Ryan, but I would give it 3 out of 4 stars or something. I would give it like a B, like a solid
personally
B.
love that movie. I bought it right away as soon as I saw it in theaters.
I gave it like a solid C.
Well, I know something that you both love, and that's a movie
What?
called Pacific
Big
Rim.
old dicks. Oh,
nope.
fuck yeah!
I'm guessing both of you love that,
Who
right?
doesn't like that movie?
Well, Guillermo del Toro is not directing Pacific Rim. It's going to be Stephen S. DeKnight, who is the showrunner for Daredevil.
Really?
Weird.
Yeah, he worked on Spartacus and Daredevil. He's going to take over. The script was written by John Spates, based on characters created by Del Toro and Travis Beacham. Blah 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 blah
Well,
blah.
why
blah.
no Del Toro?
I think it's because we'll get to that in a minute, but I think it's because he's got some big shit coming up on the horizon here. Batman v Superman to get an R-rated cut. I already talked about that. Michael B. Jordan to star in a remake of the Thomas Crown Affair. Michael B. Jordan of Fantastic Four and Creed. Did you guys see the remake with Pierce Brosnan that came out in like the late 90s?
I did,
Which
which
one?
is making me pause. Go, they're doing another one.
Yeah, they're
Wait, what
remaking,
movie?
which itself was a remake of an older
Yeah.
film, and I can't remember who the actors were in that. It's called
What
the
movie are we
the Thomas Crown Affair. It's like a heist
Like a
kind of
spy
film.
movie.
It's like an art. It's like an art heist film, I think. Right? He's trying to
Okay.
steal pieces of art. I can't remember. It was a good movie. The remake was good, but it's good to see this guy getting the kind of love he's getting right now. Obviously, Creed got a bunch of publicity with the Oscars going on and Sly getting nominated.
Yeah.
And I think
He's a great actor. It's just like my brain is still like, why are they doing another one?
you got me, man. There remakes left and right, but it's I think it's good to see him getting these leading man kind of roles because I think he's got what it takes.
Oh, yeah, I think he's gonna be. He is a good actor.
We already talked about Daredevil season 2, but the new trailer came up. Did you guys see this one? The one with the Yakuza, the one that focused.
Part
Yeah.
2? Yes.
Yeah.
That trailer
Yes.
was even sicker than the fucking first trailer, and the first trailer had Punisher. So I mean, the reviews are already starting to come in for Daredevil season 2. So the outlets, the embargo's lifted for them to talk about it, and it's coming back that if you love the first season, you're gonna love the second season. It's more of what you love.
I can't wait.
What did you guys think of his outfit with like the red eyes?
I don't know how I feel about his outfit. I don't know how I feel about the costume at all.
I don't
Like,
know.
I feel
it
like-
looks. I don't know. I don't know. I'm so indifferent about it.
Feels like they're trying to make it like they're like, look, it's kind of like the comic where he's got red eyes in the comic.
Oh,
It's
did he
just-
have red eyes in the comic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
at
they
least they're being
they're
faithful.
staying true. Like
Yeah.
it's just it doesn't look good. Like I don't think the costume looks good.
I didn't
I
have a
don't think
problem with
it's
the costume, but I thought the eyes looked funny. Like some things look better,
They
and
look super. They look super bulgy. They look
So-
like they're popping out of the mask.
some things look better animated or something like that.
I don't know.
I can see that.
Still indifferent about it.
The Coen brothers say they aren't fans of the Fargo TV show, which broke my fucking heart because I love the movie and the show. In an interview with Radio Times, Joel and Ethan Coen revealed that they aren't fans of the TV show Fargo, which is based on their 1995 film. Joel Coen said, "We're just not very interested. I mean, we're perfectly happy with it. We have no problem with it. It just feels divorced from our film somehow." Article goes on to say more, but which I can understand that. They're not bagging on it. They're just saying like it just feels different from our movie, and I think that's inevitable because these people that are producing the show and writing the show and acting in the show are trying to stay faithful to that universe, but it's still going to be its own thing because it's not the
and I
same.
feel like
It's
that's
not
why
the same
done
guy.
so well. I feel like that's why it's done so well because it's so different.
It is different, but I was a little confused because when I watch that show, I love every single episode has like 3 or 4 mini little callbacks to these tiny references in the movie. And I started having this thought, like, how the fuck did this movie have this much stuff in it that they're able to reference so much, you know? But yeah, I was a little bummed to read that because I'm a fan of the show. Ben Affleck allegedly rewrote Batman v Superman's script while wearing the Batsuit.
I want to believe that.
Yeah, I really hope that's
So do I. I think that's fucking badass. U.S. Weekly reports that Ben Affleck reportedly rewrote the script for Batman v Superman while wearing the Batsuit. A source said that Affleck would go into wardrobe and get all suited up for the day in his Batman suit. The source added, then he would sit around reworking the script. Ben wasn't thrilled with it and would find himself on multiple occasions fixing it the day of. That's interesting. I feel like Zack Snyder
did he not
might step in and be like,
anything?
well, you know,
Like-
you are the actor here. This isn't Argo.
Like, what the fuck?
Another source said Ben was excited to do a Batman film. He's fascinated by the character. Film arrives on March 25th.
Is that still up in the air if he will be directing the solo Batman movie? Or is he
Nothing's
actually gonna be doing
confirmed
it?
about that.
Okay.
Yeah. If I'm Warner Brothers, I'm fucking for sure hiring him. Why wouldn't you? He's an Oscar. He's been nominated for an Oscar for directing, I think, twice or 2 or 3 times, and then he got it for Argo. So I mean, that would be silly if they didn't give it to him. I'd be really surprised if they didn't give it to him. And if anything, you know, on the one hand, it makes me a little nervous that he didn't like so much of the base script that he had to rewrite a bunch of it.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, I love Ben Affleck, and I think I think Ben Affleck serves as a good counter Zack Snyder. You know what I mean? Like, there's a little bit more depth to Ben Affleck and his characters and his films and his stories than
Agreed.
Zack Snyder, who's more about presentation and flash and wowing the audience.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Makes sense.
Producer said there's you're gonna like this, Faucius. The producer said that The Departed may become a TV series.
Whoa.
Interesting.
Which is kind of weird because everyone's fucking dead by the end of that movie.
Yeah.
But a producer on Martin Scorsese's The Departed said that there have been talks of a television series based on the film. Roy Lee spoke with Collider and said that there had been talks about doing a sequel, but that it involved bringing characters back who had died in the original film.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
I don't like that.
Yeah,
I never like that.
Seems kind of weird. Give me new characters. Just
Yeah.
like give me Fargo. You know what I mean? Like just.
Yep.
New setting, new timeline, new characters. That's just gonna fuck me up if I'm watching.
Yeah, I
All the
hope they don't
characters
do
that
that.
died.
Bill Paxton to star in Training Day series. I like this. Bill Paxton will topline CBS's Training Day series. Deadline reports that Paxton will star as Frank Rourke, a veteran officer in charge of the department's Special Investigations section.
They're doing a Training Day series?
Yeah, we've talked about this on the podcast.
Did we? Are you
Like
sure?
three times.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I didn't. For some reason I don't remember that.
It's all right. Everybody knows you're drunk for half these.
Whatever, dude. There's actually vodka in this orange juice.
Deadpool and X-Men crossover won't happen for a while. It may have taken 7 years, but fans finally got the Deadpool movie they wanted, and with the movie's huge success, you would think that that could maybe open the door for the character to interact with other characters in the X-Men film world. That the 20th. Wow, this article. Trim the fat. That sentence should have been like 5 words. Unfortunately, if you're hoping for some sort of X-Men and Deadpool crossover, Deadpool screenwriters say that's not in the cards for any time soon. I would read on further, but you got the gist of that.
Yeah.
Which is surprising to me because I figure if I'm Fox and I just came out with Fantastic Four, and then I come out with Deadpool, which is one of the most successful R-rated movies of all time. Why would you not want to merge that with your most successful comic book franchise of all time? Well, it's interesting.
I
Now
would like to see them do it later on, but maybe not like right away.
And now it's getting really interesting with Wolverine 3 reportedly having an R rating. Did you guys hear about that? I don't have the...
Yes, I did hear about that.
Didn't you hear what Wolverine 3 is supposed to be?
It's supposed to be Old Man Logan.
Yeah.
And that is a extremely violent run of Wolverine.
Can you give me
so-
Old Man Logan in 20 seconds? Don't
Go ahead,
spoil it
Eric.
for me.
I can't do that.
You can't do that.
What makes it so violent, though? What specifically?
Most everybody is dead.
Yeah. And also the funny part
Is
that
dead or dies?
Dead or
I'm
Dies.
not
Both.
gonna-
Either.
Yeah.
I don't
And
understand
you
what
should
you
Just
mean.
read it because it's pretty quick.
It's a pretty short read, and also Wolverine is a pacifist as well at the time.
Mm-hmm. He hasn't taken out his claws in years.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
And does he have like white hair or anything like that? Is he actually?
Yep.
How
Yep.
is he? How is? So just wait. When does this take place? What year? I don't.
Exactly. Because he ages super slowly.
Yeah. So literally, what year is it? Is it like? No, seriously, tell me what year it is.
It's a few hundred, like almost 100 years later, something like that. Like
It's a
the
long
future?
while later, but this
Yeah.
is like, it's essentially like a complete offshoot side story.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't actually exist in the actual universe.
I'm
Like
really
a side
excited.
universe thing, but
I'm really excited for this film. I thought the director. I know you didn't like the second Wolverine, Bunny, and I know that the third act of the second Wolverine wasn't great, but I thought the rest of the movie was. Have you seen the R-rated cut, the unrated cut that the director's cut?
of the second Wolverine movie,
Yeah,
no.
it is brutal. I mean, he
Yeah.
is just straight up impaling people. It is so violent. I didn't realize how violent that was.
That's why I was always surprised when the first Wolverine movie that it wasn't rated R. Same thing with the second one.
There wasn't a lot of blood though, for the
No, I
like
mean,
even
like,
though he's
before-
stabbing
before
people.
before seeing it, I figured they would try to do something like that, but it was like Wolverine's such a violent character. He has unbreakable claws that cut through anything, and he's
Yeah.
extremely angry all the time.
Yeah.
And violent, and I was always so surprised that they actually managed to do PG.
Well, yeah, I think the way they got around that is that they would show him impaling people, but then it just wouldn't show any blood, like a really,
Yeah.
really small amount of blood. And in this director's cut, he is just fucking chopping people up. And I think you might appreciate it a little bit more. The ending still isn't great, but you know.
fucking Mechazoid fucking Silver Samurai, man.
Okay,
Can't stand that
anyways,
shit.
we got to move on here. George Miller set as producer for a Justice League movie. Did you guys hear about this?
Oh,
That's interesting.
awesome.
According to actingauditions.org, I've never heard of that website. Some new details have been revealed for the upcoming Justice League movie. Per the website, the film is shooting under the code name of Caveman, and the project is looking for talent in and around London, England. In addition, the website reveals that Mad Max Fury Road director George Miller is attached to produce the film. Holy shit. That is...
I'm
I
actually
don't
really
know.
excited about that. I
But
like
again,
that.
I don't know if I trust that random website so much. But if it's true,
If that's true. I mean, it
that's
was
cool.
it was reported on by basically every media outlet earlier.
I think I remember reading stuff
In
about that.
mid 2015 that Warner Brothers actually offered George Miller Man of Steel 2 to direct that, and he turned it down. So it does kind of follow the continuity of him having talks with WB about this series. So maybe he didn't want Man of Steel 2, but he can be a producer on this film. And I think his artistic vision and what he brings in terms of immersion, like setting up a world and really making you believe that this world it could exist, or not could exist, but having all the characters really exist within the constraints of that world. He does a really good job of that, and that has me excited. And I think Zack Snyder needs help. I think he's a good director. I don't think he's. I think his storytelling could use a lot of work, and someone like George Miller could potentially offset some of his shortcomings. Did you guys have anything else to say on that, or no?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
You hit the nail on the head, I think.
J.J. Abrams wants openly gay characters in Star Wars. People reports that while speaking at the U.S.-Ireland Alliance Oscar Wilde Awards, J.J. Abrams spoke about the possible inclusion of openly gay characters in the Star Wars universe. The latest film, The Force Awakens. Wait, what? That's not a sentence. While a gay character hasn't appeared on screen in the films yet, there have been gay characters in the tie-in books, including Imperial defector Sinjir Rath Velas and Moff Delian Moores. Do you know? Have you guys
Nice
read
names.
any of the?
Nope.
Anyways, I'll get to the quote. He said, "When I talk about inclusivity, it's not excluding gay characters. It's about inclusivity. So, of course, to me, the fun of Star Wars is exploring the possibilities. So it seems insanely narrow-minded to say that there wouldn't be a homosexual character in that world." Which makes
I just kind of this may sound. I don't mean it to sound insensitive, but I always just assumed that there were gay characters in Star Wars. It just wasn't like we're gonna shine a crazy light on it.
Yeah.
Like I always just assume like it's the galaxy. Of course there are gay characters, but they're not like they just don't have like a love angle yet. It would be cool to see like a love angle in the movie. Like that's fucking rad. I just always assumed that there were gay characters.
Well, what are the love stories in Star Wars besides Han and Leia and Anakin and Padme?
Are you talking just movies or like
No, just
overall?
just the movies. Are there any other love stories that get any attention? I can't think of one.
No, I can't think about it. One either.
I think those are
Those are
R2-D2 and
literally
3CPO.
okay. Yeah, you could argue. Yeah,
That's true. That could be the
yeah. So I mean, I guess in the Star Wars universe, I don't know. I don't think that that's fine that you just assumed that there were gay characters in the universe, but they never showed it. You know what I mean? It was never.
Yeah.
I mean, Jabba, you could say, was explicitly heterosexual, but we don't know. Maybe he had dude slaves, the week before Leia got there or something like that.
Yeah.
But I did like that quote when he said, "We're talking about the fucking galaxy." So, it's insanely narrow-minded to think that there wouldn't be homosexuals out there in the world or out there in the universe.
Like I get the point though, like it's been predominantly focused on heterosexual relationships.
Yeah.
So why the fuck wouldn't there be a focus on a homosexual relationship at some point? Like,
I mean,
back to my point. It is the galaxy.
I'd be really, really surprised if they actually not that I think Disney's homophobic. I don't fucking know. I don't know the executives at Disney. I assume probably some of them are, but I don't know. But it really surprises me if we actually saw two dudes kissing or being affectionate or any kind of physicality whatsoever. Can you imagine the uproar that would happen just in this country from the religious right? Star Wars is something that's sacred, right? It's something that it's like the Super Bowl. Like everyone goes to see Star Wars, and when you introduce homosexuals in this universe, it's gonna fucking piss off a lot of people. A lot of people. I want it to happen. I would love to see that happen. I would love to see people shaken up about that. But I'll believe it when I see it. That's where I.
What's really funny is when you bring up stuff like the religious right would be up in arms and how Star Wars is holy. It's like, why aren't they already up in arms? It's about like a whole premise of like defying God. About how people can have like mystical godlike powers.
Yeah.
And, like the galaxy is much bigger than like we are, and
well, it's a work
like,
of
there's
fantasy.
This whole other religion.
It's a work of fantasy. It's I can see how people don't have any qualms, like moral qualms about watching Star Wars. But as soon as two dudes start kissing, even if they touch, hold hands, that's enough. That's enough to piss off a lot of people. And given the success of The Force Awakens, it's interesting that they would even think about gambling with that. I approve of it, but I mean, we're talking about fucking Disney here.
Yeah, that's true.
20th Century Fox alters release plans for Gambit and Alien Covenant and Predator and more. Apparently Predator is a thing. Oh, no, we talked about that before anyways.
Yeah.
The big story in this one is that Gambit kind of disappeared. Like they took it off the slate for this year. It's supposed to come out in October of this year. We're already in March, and they hadn't even started filming yet. And so, Alien Covenant has had its release date moved up 2 months to August 4th, 2017. The film was originally slated for October 6th, 2017. And then Gambit's just kind of gone from this, which kind of bums me out. I was excited to see Channing Tatum in that role. I thought he would have been really good at that.
So have they said it's canceled, or are they not making it? Or
they haven't. That's the thing, though. They haven't said
right
it's
now?
canceled, but it's just off the slate. They just kind of took it off without addressing it.
Weird.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's still around.
Daisy Ridley says Luke is so cool in Star Wars Episode 8. I don't know how this is news. Of course she's going to say that.
Such a weak article.
We can just talk about Daisy Ridley.
Cool.
You know what? I'm not reading that. That's not. You're 100% right on that. Lev, this has me excited. Lev Schreiber says he talked about returning for Wolverine 3, which
Yeah.
I think would be fucking awesome. Because even
So rad.
though Origins was a piece of shit, he was totally fine as Sabretooth in that movie. Like I thought that he was really physically haunting and brooding, and he had
He had the good attitude for it as well.
he had the savagery down. He was really good at that. He said, we talked about it. I don't know. He's mentioned it to me. The Old Man Logan story. That's appealing. That's something I can do. Old being the operative word. That being said, this is by no means a confirmation he's going to be in the film, but I really doubt that they're actually going to do that. If I'm them, I'm trying to distance myself as much from Origins as I possibly can. But I hope that they have some kind of open-minded executive at Fox that recognizes how good he was in that role in the first film, and to give him another shot, like Deadpool. They gave him another shot, so why not give some of these other properties?
Also, GM, am I misremembering? Is Sabretooth even in Old Man Logan?
I was literally trying to think of that when he said that, and I don't remember.
I don't think he is.
I don't remember Sabretooth.
Well,
being in it.
if that story is as short as you say it is, they're going to need to add some stuff to it anyways.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, it's like, in terms of like a graphic novel series, it's pretty short, but like they could delve into some stuff there enough to make a full movie out of it.
The Dark Tower begins production in 7 weeks. Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey confirmed. Did you guys read about this?
Yeah, dude. So
I don't know
cool.
anything about this story. Did you guys read this at all? Did you guys read all this?
Yeah, Dark Tower is
No.
phenomenal.
Really?
I heard that he was going to be doing it, but I didn't really read anything into it because I've never read the book.
Yeah. So apparently the book was written stream of conscious. Like that was one of the reasons why I really liked it. Like he was just like, I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna fucking start writing, and he just started writing, and this book came out, and you could see like while reading the book, like all the things he took from the real world that were just like around him while he was writing, and inject it into the book, because it's like this weird, cerebral, like lucid dream of a story that's all over the place, and it's written like someone who's on acid decided they wanted to make a story. So it's just like you gotta read it. They did a really good graphic novel series of it too. So I would suggest if you don't want to sit down and read the books, just check out the graphic novels to like dip your toe in the pool.
Yeah.
I didn't read a lot of Stephen King growing up, but I did read The Shining, and I saw all the Stephen King films. I love I love the stories. Depending, however the execution of how those stories were presented on film, it's going to differ from director to director and from writer to writer. And in fact, he even hated The Shining, the film adaptation of that movie. But I do enjoy storytelling, and I love both of these actors, Matthew McConaughey and Idris Elba, in the same movie. It makes me excited.
That'll be awesome.
Cool casting.
So the box office. So this is the last bit of news. The box office last week. The big news was Deadpool was #1 for the third straight week, but Gods in Egypt completely fucking tanked.
I heard it was terrible.
Not surprised. Not surprised at all. I saw this. I'm like, man, it was cool when I saw this trailer for 300. It was less cool when The Immortals came out, and it kind of looked like that. It was even less cool when they made a fucking sequel to 300, and then this movie just looks like so I'm really kind of like baffled. And then also I like Jamie Lannister, but he's not a leading man. Like that's not enough to sell. That's not enough to sell movie tickets. I don't think that's not a knock on him as an actor, but I just felt like he was really out of place. There was nothing exciting about that trailer when I saw
just
it.
like stop fucking whitewashing casting and like actors and actors.
The
like
movie takes place in Egypt.
yeah, like
and
yeah.
everyone's
what were
white.
all those white people doing in that movie?
It's
let's be real.
Yeah, it's like Ridley Scott's Gods of Exodus or Gods and Kings, or what is it? Exodus and
who
Kings,
knows?
Exodus and Gods. I don't know what it was. The fucking
It was about was it about Moses and
Moses.
Pharaoh?
Oh
yeah,
God,
and they
man.
were all white.
They're
Everyone
all
was white.
super
Oh,
white,
dog.
and they just
Super
literally
white.
put like bronzer on them, and then gave them eyeliner, and it's supposed
stupid.
to look Egyptian. It doesn't-
Like I almost like don't want to get into it again because it just pisses me off. Like hearing that what was it like fucking Scarlett Johansson is gonna play the main character in the Ghost in the Shell movie.
Yeah.
Like stop. Just
Yeah.
stop ruining everything.
I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon.
The whites ruin everything.
Okay.
You heard it here first,
All
guys.
right.
The whites ruin everything.
Let's talk about the Oscars. You want to talk about the Oscars?
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm going to run down each one by category. So for original screenplay, it was Bridge of Spies, Ex Machina, Inside Out. Inside Out? Inside Out's on that list? I mean, it was a
Yeah,
good
that was
movie.
for
Really?
animated.
Okay. Well, no,
feature film,
this is for original screenplay. And then Spotlight, Straight Outta Compton. What a weird list.
Yeah,
It's a weird list when I look at it.
It's the
it
Oscars,
sounds
dude.
weird,
It's all
but
weird.
it actually has like a lot of depth to it. It's not like it doesn't sound like very single-minded.
What one was Spotlight? What would you guys have given this to?
For which?
This is for original screenplay. So Bridge of Spies, Ex Machina, Inside Out, Spotlight, or Straight Outta Compton. If you had
I
to
would
pick.
probably gave it to Bridge of Spies. Or Ex Machina. Yeah, okay, Ex Machina.
I actually agree with their winner. It was Spotlight, but I was trying to debate in my mind if it would have been Ex Machina or Spotlight. But then Bridge of Spies was really fucking good too, man.
Bridge of
If
Spies
you guys
is
haven't seen that
fantastic.
movie, it's fantastic.
Good.
Adapted screenplay. The winner was Big Short. The other nominees were Brooklyn, Carol, The Martian, and Room. I haven't seen Brooklyn or Carol. I was gonna watch those this week. So it's hard.
I still haven't seen The Room, even though it's now up on Amazon Video, thankfully.
Yeah, it's. I think you can only buy it on it. Amazon does this fucking stupid thing for the first 2 weeks or whatever.
Yeah,
that they
you can
release
only
it.
buy it.
You can only buy
Can't
it.
rent
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I hate that. And I bought like 5 movies too, so it works. That's what sucks.
Yeah. I know that feel.
One of them was The Big Short. I loved this movie. It was. I think I said it was my second favorite movie of 2015. It was really good. Have you guys watched it yet?
I have not. It's on my list.
The Big Short.
I haven't. I really wanted to when I saw it come out.
That got put on Amazon pretty recently as well, so I put that on my list of things to watch.
I think you guys are gonna love it. Like, I think you guys are really gonna like it. Within the first 5 minutes, you're gonna be like, yes, and because and take comfort in knowing it's like 2 hours and 20 minutes. It's like, and it doesn't feel like that. That's what's cool about long movies that pull it off, is that they don't feel long. By the time you walk out of the movie, it feels like an hour and a half has passed, but you're interested the whole movie. Sound mixing was, can you tell me the difference between sound mixing and sound editing?
I didn't know there was one.
I feel like mixing is making sure that like all of the different tracks like sync up correctly and sound really good and all the levels are great. And editing, I think, is like editing it,
deciding when the specific audio cues come in, and okay, yeah,
this
that makes
is me talking out of my ass, by the way. I
No,
have no idea, so I'm just like assuming.
that seems pretty logical. That seems like a pretty logical conclusion. Mad Max won for both of these, and everything was all the same shit was not. Oh, that's not true. For sound mixing, Bridge of Spies, Mad Max, The Martian, The Revenant, Star Wars. I would have given both these awards to Star Wars. Sound editing, Mad Max, Martian, The Revenant, Sicario, and Star Wars. I would have given that to Star Wars. You got to give something to Star Wars. Maybe
Did
that's
Star Wars
just
win anything?
no. I don't think so. I could be wrong. But I don't think it did.
Damn.
Short film, animated, and short film live action. I think I'll skip that because I'm guessing we haven't seen a lot of these movies.
Nope.
Production design. Bridge of Spies, The Danish Girl, Mad Max, The Martian, The Revenant. Mad Max won this one, and I am going to agree with that one. When I was watching, did you guys watch the Oscars live?
No, I did not. I was somewhere.
Dude, Mad Max just went on this fucking early tear where they did not lose any category that they were nominated for. And it was incredible. I was sitting there screaming louder and louder, and my girlfriend's laughing her ass off the whole time.
Oh, I went to go see The Witch. That's why I didn't see it. Because I was at The Witch watching that.
Yeah, I was definitely watching the Oscars this year. That's another reason I want cable. I want to watch stuff like that. Do you guys have a problem with that winner? Have you guys seen a lot? You've seen? Did you guys see The Danish Girl?
I have not seen The Danish Girl yet.
I have not.
No,
I saw a little
yet.
bit of it, but I haven't seen it.
I heard it's really good.
Me
Like,
too.
I heard
Yeah,
It's really good movie, so I want to watch it.
me too. All these movies obviously had incredible production design. Even Bridge of Spies, Martian, Revenant, all these. It's just so many good movies this year. Music, original song. It was Earned It, 50 Shades of Grey. I think that was fucking The Weeknd. And then Manta Ray, Racing Extinction. I don't know what that is. Simple Song number 3. I don't know what that is. Writings on the Wall, one from Spectre. Which when that movie came out, have you guys seen Spectre yet? I think you have, right?
Yeah, I've seen it like the week it came out.
Eric, did you see that movie?
Which one, Spectre?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Bond.
No, I feel bad saying this, but I've been kind of waiting until it's like on Blu-ray or something.
Yeah.
Because it just like, I don't know.
was
Like I was
super
really
underwhelming.
excited, and then I, for some reason, lost all of my excitement.
Like it was don't watch it excited. It was very underwhelming for a James Bond movie.
Maintain your expectations when you go into
Yeah.
that one. But I really enjoyed the song. What I thought was funny is that when he was accepting the award, during his acceptance speech, he gets up there and he says, my friend told me that I was the first openly gay man to win, first openly gay person to win an Oscar. I'm like, how likely is that? This is Hollywood. Like in the history, and it turns out he was completely off base with it. And the guy who actually was the first openly gay man who had won an Oscar in like 1980 for a best adapted screenplay, like angrily tweeted at him,
Really?
and then accused him of trying to hit on his fiance. It got weird. It's just like it all happened on Twitter. It got weird.
Weird.
So music, the best original score. Bridge of Spies, Carol, The Hateful Eight, Sicario, Star Wars Awakens. All these are fantastic, but fucking Mad Max isn't on that list. Like
it's nice to hear Sicario get nominated for some stuff though.
Yeah. No,
like
Sicario's soundtrack was really great. The theme was really like haunting, and it made you feel anxious and excited.
Yeah.
And it was good. But The Hateful Eight won for this one. I don't think I'm gonna agree with that, but that's just me. You guys have any opinion on music? No one gives a shit about that.
I
don't really think Hateful Eight had that superb of a soundtrack. Like the soundtrack didn't stand out for me as much as the rest of the movie did.
It was good. It's just really kind of old timey. Like
Yeah, well, it's kind of stuff I would expect from a Quentin Tarantino movie, but it wasn't like outstanding. Like it definitely wasn't better than Mad Max's or.
No, man, I bought the soundtrack to Mad Max, and sometimes when I'm driving, I'll blare that thing, and oh my god, it takes you to
the war
that's
drums.
what I
You
was
driving
gonna
down the
say.
streets of the war drums. You're gonna murder someone.
Yeah,
Like
Someone's
I feel like the music for Mad Max is like, I would say like 40% what made the entire movie for me.
yeah, like 49%. It's like so. Yeah, well, you're talking about your opinion, so I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, man.
I think you mean 49%, Faucius.
It's super wrong.
But no, like it's just like it set the tone and the pace of every scene so well
Yeah.
that
Really-
like I feel like the movie would have been incredibly lessened without it.
I was really confused. They weren't nominated for that. Makeup and hairstyling. This one went to Mad Max. The other nominees were The Window and Disappeared, The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out, and The Revenant. I didn't see two of those movies, but
Wait, what?
I don't know. I don't know, Bunny. Okay, can I just get through the list?
I think you're making up movies at this point.
No, it's written right there. Foreign language film. I'm not going to read these because I'm going to guess we haven't seen these. The film editing was The Big Short, Mad Max, The Revenant, Spotlight, and Star Wars Force Awakens, and Mad Max took this one as well, which I thought, and it was so funny because every one of these Aussies that were winning this award for Mad Max, they seem like fish out of water. They get up there and it's like, it's hard to explain, but every single one of them was they just came across as sort of like aloof, but you could tell it was like a cultural thing. Like obviously these people aren't stupid or anything, but they seemed so out of place when they were giving their acceptance speeches, and it made me happy to see that. Documentary, I only saw two of these movies, so it was between Amy, Cartel Land, Land of Silence, What Happened, Miss Simone, and Winter on Fire, Ukraine's Fight for Freedom. I saw Cartel Land, which was fucking crazy. Real good, yeah. And then I also saw Amy. I loved Amy. I was a huge fan of her music, and that's the one that ended up winning. Did you guys see Amy?
No.
Nope.
It's good. It's good. It's on.
It's
on Prime now.
I've never been super big into documentaries, but I probably should be. Should take the dive.
Whatever floats your boat. Director. All right. So this one was Adam McKay for The Big Short, George Miller for Fury Road, Alejandro Iñárritu for The Revenant. I can't remember who directed Room, and I can't remember who directed Spotlight, but those are who got nominated, and Iñárritu won for
Thank
The
God.
Revenant.
That's awesome.
I was a little. I mean, I was rooting for Mad Max, but when he got up there and accepted it, I'm like, yeah, it's a fucking masterpiece. Of course he got that.
Yeah. Like he needed one.
He won for Birdman.
No, I'm saying he needed one for this movie.
What do you mean? Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah. Just by
needed one for
virtue of the
Revenant.
fact that it was incredible.
Yeah.
Just Revenant was a fucking, like you said, it was a masterpiece. It was so good.
Yeah, it kind of brings up an interesting conversation where it's like, do you reward actors and directors because their movie was hard and difficult to make, or do you reward it purely based on what you present artistically? And it's hard for me to separate the two. When I think of a movie about The Revenant or like The Revenant, I can't help but think like that had to have been so difficult to wake up at 3 a.m. every morning or whatever the fuck they were doing and go out there in the Arctic, like Canadian and Venezuelan wilderness and do what they did. It's really hard for me to separate that.
I think it's got to be a mix of both, man.
Like, yeah, like it has to be a mesh of both, because that's a part of the movie is how it was made and what great leaps they did to get authenticity out of that movie.
Yeah, definitely. Costume design, we had Carol, Cinderella, The Danish Girl, Mad Max, and The Revenant. Mad Max won this one. I'm trying to think of all these other movies. I didn't see Carol or Cinderella. Saw a little bit of The Danish Girl, and I was actually kind of hoping The Revenant would take this one, just because, I mean, just because that's what I thought. But I was happy that Mad Max took this one. Cinematography, it was Carol, The Hateful Eight, Mad Max, and The Revenant, and Sicario. That one went to The Revenant. I was a little surprised that Hateful Eight didn't get a little more love, because he usually gets all kinds of blowjobs from the Academy every year.
Yeah.
But this year was just not. If I'm Quentin Tarantino, I'm taking a break for like a year, because you can tell he was. It was a pain in the ass for him to get Hateful Eight made, because the script got leaked so early on, and he was threatening to sue Gawker over that. And anyways, animated feature film, Inside Out won this one. I think I agree with that. Anomalisa was really fucking good though, and I didn't see these other ones. Boy in the World, Shaun the Sheep movie, and When Marnie Was There.
I saw Shaun the Sheep.
Oh, When Marnie Was There.
Shaun the Sheep was great.
What's When Marnie Was There?
That was a Studio Ghibli film.
Oh.
Wait.
Okay.
Super good. That's the newest one.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I haven't seen that one yet, but I heard
typical Studio Ghibli, very fucking heartwarming, really good, makes you feel feels.
Interesting. Okay, actors in a supporting role: Jennifer Jason Leigh, Hateful Eight; Rooney Mara for Carol; Rachel McAdams for Spotlight; Alicia Vikander for The Danish Girl; and Kate Winslet for Steve Jobs. And Alicia Vikander won this for The Danish Girl. Fun fact: she could have easily gotten the same Oscar for playing Ava in
Ex Machina.
In Ex Machina, yeah. So she had a really good like freshman year of movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
she's a great actress.
Yeah,
stupid hot too. Her boyfriend is she's dating
Lucky son of a bitch. No.
Yeah, this motherfucker. It's Michael Fassbender is actually dating her.
Really?
Oh, that figures.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even be mad because I date Michael Fassbender, so.
Yeah.
I mean, her.
Who wouldn't? Let's be real.
Actor in a supporting role. This was a really good. The supporting actor this category this year was fucking stacked. Christian Bale for The Big Short, Tom Hardy for The Revenant, Mark Ruffalo for Spotlight, Mark Rylance for Bridge of Spies, Sylvester Stallone, Creed. Everybody was hoping Sly would get this one because it's fucking Sly, and I don't think he's ever gotten an Oscar for acting, but it did not. It went to Mark Rylance for Bridge of Spies, and I was watching Mark Ruffalo when I was really surprised by that. That one surprised a lot of people, I think. And I thought it was so deserving too, because I thought he was marvelous in that role. He brought like a charm and a humor to that role that was like I think really important to the theme of the film.
I still thought it should have been Hardy.
You think so? I mean, it's like it's hard not to think about how hard it was, but when there's a lot of good act. Did you see The Big Short? You didn't? No, I just talked about this. But Christian Bale in that movie was fucking terrific, and Sly Stallone made me feel all kinds of feels when I watched Creed.
So I really just recently watched that movie, and Stallone was like that was his best role. Like,
yeah, he was fucking great in that.
Incredible. He did such a good job of being the heartwarming father figure. Like that was incredible.
And I agree. I think that was probably the toughest category of the entire show. But I don't know. Maybe I just have a man crush on Tom Hardy, but I thought he, even more so than Leonardo DiCaprio, stole that movie. Like, he was so good in Revenant.
Yeah, he had these scenes where he would have like the scene where he talked about how his uncle found God, and it turns out God was a squirrel, and he ate that son of a bitch. You know, like he delivered those lines like really, really well. And, I mean, all these actors did just a fucking fantastic. You could have tossed a coin and decided it that way, I think.
Yeah.
Actress in a leading role, Cate Blanchett for Carol. When I was watching all the vignettes for when they were showing when Carol would get nominated, this movie looked really good. So I'll have to check that out before the next time we record this. So Cate Blanchett for Carol, Brie Larson for Room, Jennifer Lawrence for Joy, Charlotte Rampling for 45 Years, and then Saoirse Ronan for Brooklyn. I've literally seen one of these movies.
Theron didn't get nominated for Mad Max, huh?
I wanted it so bad.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say it. I'm actually really surprised.
No, you know what? Like, I will say that, like, there's not a lot of lying. There's not a lot of talking in Mad Max. So it's hard. It's a little hard to justify nominating anyone for an acting role because everyone has like 2 lines in that movie. You know, Furiosa probably talks more than anyone else, but
still, like, that's what made the movie so powerful, is what the characters didn't say and how they emoted without words.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on
what
your
hit me
side.
anyway.
I would have loved to seen her get nominated, but I can also understand why. But your argument makes sense too. Everybody's right, and no one's right. Actor in a leading role. This was Bryan Cranston in Trumbo, Matt Damon, The Martian, Leonardo DiCaprio, Revenant, Michael Fassbender, Steve Jobs, Eddie Redmayne, The Danish Girl, and everybody. I don't think anybody, like, as far as Vegas odds went, I'm sure Leo's odds were like 500 to 1 to win that one.
Yeah.
And I thought he did a good thing when he got up there and he raised awareness for like oppressed indigenous populations and climate change, you know, and he wasn't like he wasn't like,
it was nice and classy.
Yeah, he did get political, but it was presented very coherently and very dispassionately, but at the same time letting you know that so like, I know he's passionate about these things, but he didn't get up there and scream into the mic about it. He just said, these things are real and we need to pay attention to. And I thought he raised an interesting point where he's saying we had to chase snow and we ended up filming all the way down in Venezuela because there was no snow when there normally was snow. And I thought that was a really, poignant point to make in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Best Picture. So this year's Best Picture, it was so stacked. Like, okay, so The Big Short, Bridge of Spies, Brooklyn, Mad Max, The Martian, The Revenant, Room, and Spotlight. And Spotlight won, which I really did not see coming.
No one saw that coming.
I thought for sure it was going to go to The Revenant. I thought and I was praying and hoping that it might go to Mad Max, but I knew it wasn't going to happen. But when they announced this movie, and did you see Michael Keaton when he got up to, like, did you guys watch the replay at all?
I haven't seen it.
No.
He gets up and he walks by a camera and he basically looks in the camera and goes, "Fuck yeah!" right before he got on the stage. I agreed though. I thought Spotlight was. I mean, even though I said Mad Max was my favorite movie, it's hard to like explain these things. It's like, it's my favorite movie, but this movie was better, which doesn't make any sense.
I got you. I actually just have to watch Spotlight now.
As do I.
It's really fantastic, you guys. It's really, 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 really good movie, and I don't know what else to say about it. So I think I was really in the long run, or in the grand scheme of things, I would think I was really happy with all the winners this year. You know, Mad Max got some love, and Alicia Vikander got some love, and Brie Larson in Room. You know, I was really happy to see her win that one too, because she was fantastic in that movie. And yeah, that was your 2016 Oscar list. How did you guys feel about them overall?
I feel like everyone that deserved to win won, honestly. I didn't really have any quirks.
Do you guys care about the Oscars?
I'm not gonna lie. I
don't
think the whole show is a piece of shit.
I don't.
It's honestly my 2 cents. Like, I understand the gravitas and like the weight it is for actors and directors and everything like that, but I think it's all political, and I think it's just been bullshit.
Did you
forever.
see any of Chris Rock's monologue?
Yes,
I heard it was-
did.
Oh fuck, man!
Pretty good. I heard
It
it was
was
really good.
It was real like heavy-handed. Like he did not let up on the Oscars so white hashtag kind of trend
Yeah.
that they were addressing, and I thought at some points it got awkward, but I liked that. I liked watching people squirm. But he had this one line where he was criticizing Jada Pinkett Smith for boycotting the Oscars, where he said, Jada Pinkett Smith boycotting the Oscars? She's not even in movies. That's like me boycotting Rihanna's pussy. He just said, like, he really, I mean, I thought he was a fantastic host.
I think also like Louis C.K. did a really good job with his little bit that he did, but
Oh
the
God!
one thing
So
that
good.
a friend
Oh
of
God!
mine-
That part. What was he? Who was he talking about? It was the editors or the fucking best documentary short. And he remember what was he
Yeah,
saying?
he
He's just like
people, whoever wins this is going to take their award home in a Honda Civic.
to their shitty 2-bedroom or 1-bedroom apartment. He just God, it was
Yeah,
so
like
good.
that whole shtick was really good. But my one friend brought this up, and I thought it was a really good point worth repeating. That with the whole Chris Rock thing, yes, he brought up really good points on how whitewashed everything has become, but then he proceeded, and other people proceeded to shit on the Asian acting community, and no one ever touches on that, on how crappy of a time the Asian acting community has gotten throughout history and continues to get.
Yeah.
Like, when was the last time you saw an Asian nominated actor for anything? How many Asian actors and actresses get passed up for roles that are, fucking just make total sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just, it seems like that's kind of like, it's like the acceptable bit of racism still in Hollywood. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's bullshit. I really do.
And I saw these arguments were popping up around the time of the Oscars so white situation, where they were talking about the percentage of the American population that's white compared to the percentage of white actors that were nominated, and these people were making the argument, see, it's fucking proportionate. We make up like 80% of the population. Why wouldn't it be? But if you're a minority looking to get work as an actor or a writer or an editor or a director, anything in the film's industry, you shouldn't look at an industry and think I have a 20% chance of succeeding. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It as far as it's what is it, the correlation versus causation? I don't know if that's the right, but I don't think these things are corollary. I don't think the fact that whites make up a certain percent of the population, I don't think that justifies them dominating this industry. It should have nothing to do with the color of your skin. And the fact that we're having this conversation is a bummer, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's just a lot of latent racism still around in the United States, and you're seeing a lot of it kind of come to the forefront. Like, it's coming back as like a mainstream thing. It's like okay to be racist now because we have this potential presidential candidate that's making it mainstream again and galvanizing a really ugly section of this country. And so when you had this whole dilemma going on at the same time that this nasty presidential race is going on, it's just, that kind of bums me out when I look at it. I don't know if it's a reason to get completely pessimistic about the future, but it was definitely an interesting year. Interesting year. And films like The Revenant, where they talk about these themes. His son. That was a big part of that film, is that his son was just basically seen as like a dog, and Leo, out of love for his son, was basically telling him, like, don't stand up to them. You're gonna fucking die. Like they will kill you if you step out of line. Anyways, that's it for the Academy
Bottom line,
Award
white people
winners.
suck, man.
Listen, I'm with you. I wasn't with you before, but you've swayed me.
Thank God.
Do you guys
That's another one.
do you guys have anything else? We're good, man. It's 10 o'clock. Gio's got to go do whatever he's got to do. Faucius is sick.
I gotta go masturbate to fucking stuff. Dungeon porn.
Right, you just went for that. You just went for that one, huh?
German dungeon porn is what I've been into recently.
Realistically, what are you going to masturbate to? CFNM?
German dungeon
Group?
porn. Like, how is that not?
I want to know your specific favorite pornography genre.
He's gonna turn on Batman
okay.
Beyond and just start slapping
I
the ham.
actually have a new issue of Batman Beyond, so I'm just gonna go slap it around the pages really quick.
You're gonna be like Danny McBride in the end when he's just coming all over James Franco's stuff. Okay, we're gonna end it there, gentlemen. All right, it's been a pleasure. Gio, do you want to talk about
We're gonna do
the?
user questions, or you want to bust out
Yes,
a few?
I completely
Okay.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Sorry that Hutch forgets about our viewers.
Just
blitz
do
it.
Just do a few, man. Come on.
Okay, we'll run off a few. Does Tom Hardy make everything he's in good, or do only awesome things have Tom Hardy in them?
First one, hands down.
Hardy makes things good.
Yep.
I will say that's correct because he was in that rom-com spy movie.
Yep.
With what's her name?
Shit movie,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he made it good.
But he made it a good movie because he's Tom Hardy and he's an amazing actor.
Yep.
I forgot the name of that movie, but
I think if you're a director or a casting agent, Tom Hardy is near
solid
at the
pick.
top of your list for a lot
Yeah.
of things.
Yep.
better space movie, Interstellar or The Martian? I feel like you're all gonna say The Martian.
Martian.
I'm gonna say The Martian.
Yeah, that's my answer.
Considering
as well.
I can't stay awake for Interstellar, I can't do it.
Have you not finished it?
No.
The ending is like
all
pretty
around.
like a pretty core part of that movie
know,
and every
yeah.
movie. I think
Yeah,
the
you
ending
heard
is
it.
kind of
usually pretty.
watch things to the end sometimes.
I know. I've been
Yeah,
hearing
usually.
it. I've been hearing it from my ex forever, and I promised her I'm gonna see it and I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah,
I need to like chug Red Bull or something and just
it's not even
plow
that.
through
it
it.
Watch it
actually
during
is-
the day.
I have.
It's the soundtrack, man. It's a really soothing soundtrack.
It is a very soothing kind of movie, even though the kind of tone it takes. Yeah, it is a pretty soothing. Okay. By the way,
I'll make
that
it.
first question was from Mike D Gaming. The second one was from Domcats. I wasn't reading their name.
Thanks, Mike and Domcats.
Let's see. Okay, here we go. The Real Blake. Favorite movie you think nobody has heard of, so you don't bring it up often.
I don't know. I saw a movie called The Vicious Kind with Adam Short. I think the guy's name is, and J.K. Rowling. Sorry, J.K. Simmons. No, J.K. Simmons. God, Jesus. Oh yeah, not J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter. It was J.K.
I was really confused there for a second.
No, it's Adam Short, J.K. Simmons, and then one of the girls that was in Pitch Perfect. It's a really, really good movie on Netflix. I've talked about it before, but yeah, check it out. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Not a lot of you have seen it, I guarantee you.
There was a movie. It's an older. I think it's Korean or Japanese. I don't remember. It's called. It's not. Shut up. Well, no, the character. I'm pretty sure the characters are Korean, but it took place in Japan. I don't really remember, but it's called Phone. It's a bit of an older Japanese or foreign scary movie, and it's always been my all-time favorite scary movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really mention that one a lot because I feel like no one's seen it.
For me, one I don't mention a lot, but I just don't know if a lot of people have seen it. But who the fuck knows nowadays with everybody just having access to everything? Violent Cop with Beat Takeshi. Anything with Beat Takeshi is automatically going to be good because it's fucking Beat Takeshi.
I think Diction mentioned Violent Cop to me.
Oh well, yeah. Just watch anything with Beat Takeshi in it, and you're gonna have a good time. It's just like the hard-boiled cop dramas usually, or like Yakuza movies or something like that. But Violent Cop is
Takeshi's
just
an
awesome.
amazing.
It's just
amazing
one of my
fucking
old school
actor.
favorites.
Is it like the style of John Woo, like that kind of
More like gritty. I don't want to say detective, but how the hell would I put a Beat Takeshi movie? Shit, I just don't know how to describe it properly to like do it well. It's just like old school, cool Japanese actor in like a crime drama.
Okay, yeah, I think I get the gist of it.
Do you
there.
ever see Takeshi's Zotachi?
Takeshi's.
Oh, Zatoichi?
Yeah.
Yeah, Zatoichi's awesome.
Such a good samurai movie.
Yeah.
I thought you said Hitachi.
I said Zotachi, but apparently that's how it's pronounced.
I
Not
knew
pronounced.
what he was talking about because I've heard people butcher the name before.
Whatever.
So I was
dude.
like, I know what he's talking about.
Okay.
All right. We good?
One more. We'll do one more.
One more?
You can,
Okay.
you can
Let's see
find
if we
one
can
more.
find a really good one. Okay, here's one. We never talk about this genre of movie. What is your favorite musical?
Moulin Rouge. I love that
Damn,
movie.
you answered that fast.
I love
Yeah,
that movie, man. I love that
honestly,
movie.
ever since I was a kid, I have always loved The King and I. Like the
Yeah,
old school King and
yeah,
I.
yeah.
Yeah. Not the remake, the older,
Yeah,
like,
my mom,
old school one.
my mom loved that. She used to play it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I broke the tape of that movie because I watched it so many times.
I have two. One that's like my real answer, and one that's like I just remember it from when I was a kid, and my grandmother and would always make me watch it whenever I was over her house. The grandma one is Singing in the Rain with Gene Kelly.
Great movie.
Just because fucking like that's the one that like everybody likes because
Yeah.
it's like the good answer.
Yeah.
My real answer, because I'm a fucking child still, is
Mary
the
Poppins?
Disney Robin Hood.
Oh, that's
still
kicking
good.
it old
That's still
school, man.
solid. That's still
Still
solid.
my favorite.
Did you guys
Robin Hood
ever-
Live John running through the forest? So good.
Did
It's
you
so
guys-
good, and that'll get stuck in your head for like a week.
Did you guys ever see Seven Brides for Seven Brothers?
Yes.
Oh
Where they're
god, that
based
was
on
another good
logs
one
and
too.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was another good one too.
Yeah, man.
Musicals
That
are
was like my
great.
grandparents' steez.
I feel like musicals get a bad rap sometimes, but they're fucking great.
Because they're mostly
Most-
boring as shit.
Most musicals nowadays are fucking
I haven't seen
terrible.
really any newer ones.
You
Like
could
I saw Into the Woods on the airplane ride once, and I thought that movie was awful.
There's a case to be made for Nightmare Before Christmas as well. That's a really
That's true.
I
So
watch that movie every Halloween.
To be
like a
fair, I think
ritual.
like just Disney movie blank is always
Yeah.
gonna be like, oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, true.
You know what musical I fucking hate is a
High School Musical, I agree.
no, not that one, not that one. It was-
One and two.
no, not those ones. It was dude, I might even put Pitch Perfect on this list actually. But the movie that I hate is fucking it's a Tim Burton movie where it's the butcher of the fleets.
Oh,
But
God,
whatever, like-
Sweeney Todd?
Sweeney Todd.
You don't like Sweeney Todd?
I hated that movie. I was so
Why?
bored. I
What
don't know.
is-
I
oh, you were
don't.
bored.
I'm not like a big Tim Burton guy. Like I really liked
Oh.
Nightmare Before Christmas, but I don't
See, that's-
love the
I'm-
original
I'm-
Batman series, and I don't love Tim Burton, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm a super Tim Burton person.
Everyone is so fanatic.
why.
I get it. I'm not judging. I'm not saying like you guys are so wrong, but I wish that I liked it because I feel like I must be missing something. Like I'm like missing a.
it was okay. Like I'm not gonna say Sweet Todd was the best, but like it was all right. I watched it. I wouldn't watch it again, but I watched it.
I just get so bored, man. That's all. All right, Gio, do you want to talk a little bit about social media and networking and reaching out?
You can find us all on youtube.com/cryosgaming.
What?
You can find us on Twitter at ActiveBunnyFufu. That is me. You can find Eric or Faucius at Faucius on Twitter. You can find Hutch or whatever his leet name is on Twitter. Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's
Hutch.
Hutch. Wait, is it Faucius or Faucius?
Faucius, actually.
That's
Is it
wrong.
Faucius?
It is, but
I've
you know
always
what?
called you
Everybody's like,
Faucius.
how do you pronounce it? I'm like, as long as you keep saying it, baby, it doesn't matter.
You can also listen to the
I just imagine you saying
podcast.
that in a Matthew McConaughey voice or something. It's all
Maybe
right.
for us
Keep
real quick,
saying
Eric.
it, baby, it doesn't matter. All right, all right.
So it's at podcast
all right.
chill, right? On
At
Twitter.
Podcast Chill on Twitter. If you guys want to send us questions that we can read and hopefully not forget about next episode. You can also leave questions on the YouTube comments. We didn't do that today, but usually I do look at the YouTube comments as well.
Yeah.
You can also listen to the podcast on SoundCloud. We're going to work on getting it up on iTunes as well, but right now we're just on SoundCloud and YouTube.
Yeah.
The link for SoundCloud will be down in the description. What are you going to say?
Well, I just want to jump in real quick and say that, all three of us have committed to the podcast, but I think all three of us have also committed not to let it stress us out. So if one of us does get sick, or if one of us is having a busy week with work, or if one of us is in the middle of like a 24-hour stream or something like that, we're not gonna I'm not gonna stress myself or lose any sleep if we don't, if we miss a Friday of uploading, or if we can't quite locked down. Like right now, as long as it's consistent, like as long as there's a consistent frequent uploads, then I feel fine, and I hope that the audience is on this. Hopefully, we can fix that down the line. But as far as things like adding it to iTunes or committing to a very specific schedule, we're not there yet. But that's hopefully coming down the line.
And if you're not cool with it, suck it.
Suck my dick. Yeah. And yeah, I think that about wraps it up. Yeah.
Yep. I don't think I have anything else to add.
Okay. Abrupt ending. Bye.
Later, dudes.
Peace.